All right. So, good morning. Good morning. This is the styling and arrangement class that we do on Tuesdays. And we've been having some fun with the last couple of tunes we've done. Doesn't matter which instrument you have, we can make them all work, as you know. Um, so, we did last week Somewhere Out There, which is beautiful. And I presented you with figuring something out prior to playing Somewhere Out There. What was it?
Joanie,
Yes.
was it something like "I'll Be Home for Christmas"? It was a Christmas song, wasn't it?
Yes, you got the topic right.
I got the topic right. And I went to "I'll Be Home for Christmas" and it just didn't work out. Like it's,
No, the tune. Anybody
I would
else
have liked
know what the tune was?
play it again. Let's see if we'll play $64,000 question or something.
Have yourself a Merry Christmas.
What is it?
Have yourself a
Merry
That's it. And then we start with the introduction. There. You can put it
Beautiful.
you can put it at the end of the song as well. Kind of gets you in the mood there a little bit. So I followed the DSL coda now in case somebody wasn't with us last week and you're watching and you wanted to follow the music map. I was trying to do that for you. So let's get this girl coming in right now.
Joanie,
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
Doug.
Oh,
Am I correct in assuming that "Have Yourself a Merry Christmas" was also in the key of C?
It would need to be. Yes.
It would, yeah. All right. Because see, I was trying something like Rainbow Connection. You know, tying the two together with Somewhere Out. But I think Rainbow Connection was in a different key, and I'm thinking that wasn't going to work. So okay.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right.
You definitely need to be in the same key.
how you doing?
And that was my problem in preparing for today's lesson. The key I play the song in is not the key of F. And so I was going along and doing it, and I'm like, wait, it's not in the right key. But that was fine. I could do it in that key, so that wasn't really an issue. Any other questions or comments on Somewhere Out There? It really speaks for itself. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. It's one of those that never gets old, you know?
Joanie, that introduction and ending, that little part you played from Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Right.
Did you add that in that we could play that, or were you just doing that on your own? I mean, how would we find that or be able to do that?
I gave a little sneak preview last week and played it in the beginning of the song, just that little phrase, that was all, and said, now come up with what I did and tell us this week. And so
where would we find that if we wanted to do that as well?
in your Christmas music.
So and just the first part of the song you were doing.
I just did Have Yourself. So it's just the last phrase.
Okay.
And I did it on the upper keyboard. However, I did both hands on the upper keyboard. However, I showed it last week as an easy button with strings
Okay.
on the lower keyboard. And you'll notice in a lot of music like this, my memory button for the MCS is turned off because
Okay.
there's a time for musical sound, but there's also a time for musical silence. So if I want to end on my last note, I want it silent for a minute and then see if you can see that. So I'm a big advocate of, and I tell people, if you've been playing for 30 weeks or more, much of your music should have the memory button off. That's just my opinion, because I want to hear silence as well as sound.
Okay.
And again, the tips I try to give you have really nothing to do with your playing ability. They're really all about being able to use your instrument to the fullest capacity.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions or comments?
Joanie.
Yes. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Boo.
Boo. I missed last week too because we were still away. And where do I find the recording? Is it on the YouTube or
Yes.
where?
You go to YouTube/. fletchermusic.com.
Okay. Thank you.
And all the every recording is there. We record everything. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, we're going on today to witchcraft. Anybody know the tune?
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Frank Sinatra made it famous.
Uh-huh. And this is another one of these tunes. I'm just going to put my little gallery on there so I can see what's going on here. This is another one of these tunes that you're going to choose how you want to make an arrangement of it based on how you know the song. So if you knew it kind of casual, the beat kind of more Frank Sinatra, you're going to want to play with that kind of beat. I learned it probably 100 years ago with a very fast beat. It was a big band fast tune, the way I did the arrangement. So that's the way I know it. There's a couple of on the song setup on I think a marquee, but a grand marquee as well. The song setup chooses Beyond the Sea as the background style. I like it on Vegas Big Band myself, which is pretty much on most upper end instruments. On the Easy, if there's anyone with the Easy products, standards full band is going to work really well for it. And then I uniquely found, because I happened to be sitting at a Liberty, I tried, where did it go? Swing of India. First of all, I love the introduction of Swing of India. It's awesome. Um, Many people would say they don't like it because it's 20 measures long. It's one of the longest intros that we have. But that 20 minutes, and this is kind of about any song you're going to play for a moment, if you will, that 20 measures is really healthy. And a lot of people, even when they come in for help sessions, they'll just start playing this song. They don't put on the intro. Well, the intro gets you fully involved, for one thing. For another thing, it's fabulous music. So, we joke about saying you use the professional intro in the beginning and a professional ending at the end, and whatever happens in the middle doesn't matter because they're so good. The musicians are so good. But Swing of India, because it is such a long introduction, is great because you're sitting at the instrument and you're getting prepared to play. Because it's 20 measures long, it also gives you a moment to watch your rhythm lights and see the speed that things are going and see where the first beat is. You have 20 measures to get ready to play. You're not just going to stare at the music, so it really gives you time to look around, check out your rhythm lights, see if you can add a note or two to the intro. If you know the intro, then there's some notes that you can play along with it, and I just really like it. My preference when I play it is I play it on Vegas Big Band, but I was really happy this week to do it. So I'm going to start with Beyond a Sea because that's what song setup came on. And then I'm going to use intro 2 because, we don't want the signature intro to come on because we're not going to play Beyond the Sea. We're going to play Witchcraft. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to get out of my more category here and get into my normal setups. And I was talking about this on the Liberty presentation the other day, that the sound zero that comes on is called a modern jazz guitar. And I don't know if you can hear it, because I will never be able to know unless I go back and watch it on YouTube how things translate over Zoom. So I don't know if you can hear the snap behind it or not, but it does have a snap. Can you hear that?
Yes. Yes.
So at the end of each musical phrase, which in the beginning of Witchcraft is the half note F, you want to hit it a little harder because it has dynamic keying in on, or keyboard touch if you're on the other instruments. And you also don't want to hold that half note. You want to snap it right off. Okay. So I'm going to do it with Beyond the Sea, and then we'll talk about how I operated on it to give it a little bit of a nice touch here.
Mr. Brown.
Oh.
So that's the Beyond the Sea version. It's a little bit slower paced than I would normally do it, but it's very singable, which is the way Frank sang. So that works nicely. I'm gonna now do. Well, let's talk about what I did to it first. So on the third musical phrase, which is there's fingers in my hair, that sly come hither, whatever, I can't see the word. That strips my conscience, it's witchcraft. Let's get on here. And what I did, instead of tying the measure, which is what is marked on the music right now, I went an octave higher and did an echo. Same two notes you just played, but it keeps you involved in playing right now. So that's what I did to that. When we go on, no defense for it. This heat is too intense for it. What good common sense for it will do. They write in the music an E note. It's a whole note. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. I play a high C there. And actually what I did was I played the E that's written, but I played a C on top of it. I just played two notes instead of one. Okay. And when we go on, and although I know it's strictly taboo, excuse me, there's a tie and it ties a D. Well, I don't tie the D. I play an E in the tied measure because that's the way I know it. So I went up to E. I want to see if I did this myself. Yeah, I played the E chord there, and then when I played an E note on the tie, instead of tying the D, I added the next note up, E, which is the next space. I played there an E7 chord. And as we go on, when you need aroused, the need in me, my heart says yes, indeed, in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to is a B flat. I played in the tied measure. I played C, C sharp, D, and E. Instead of tying. C, C sharp, D, as in dog, E, and then go on to the next line. I will say, in the very last line, next to the last two measures, the Hal Leonard notes are written E, F, high D, and then E, correct? Everybody with me?
No, where did you say you started?
Yes.
The last line, measure 2.
Okay.
It says E, F, high D, and then E.
Yes.
I don't know that F. I've never heard that in any version. I play 2 E's. Instead of the F, I play an E. E, D. So I just crossed out my F note and made it an E note instead. Okay. Now the other chord that I added was, if you go to the beginning of the song, those fingers in my hair, that's like come hither, whatever. That strips my conscience bare, above the word bare. I played a G as in George diminished chord, which is, take off the rhythm here. So the notes are G, B flat, D flat, and E. So you can play a 2-note diminished chord, which will be G as in George and D flat, D as in dog. That's a 2-note diminished, but that diminished will not give you the 7th. And the only way to get the proper note in the bass, if I add the 7th, which is an E, it now makes it a C sharp diminished and puts the C sharp in the bass, and I don't want that. So the only way I can have a G diminished 7th with a G in the bass is to play all 4 notes, G, B flat, D flat, and E. And I did that above the word bear. And it's an F note in your right hand. I did it there. And at the end of the song, 3 notes to the end of the song, the high D, I played it there as well. Okay. So that's some of the little nuances that I changed. Again, this is Hal Leonard. So Hal Leonard writes for easy play, regardless of what instrument you happen to be playing it on. It's for any instrument, really. And so they make it as simple as possible. But instead of us holding on to the ties, you know, typically on a tie, we do things like play a fill. We play a fill, or we play on the tie. There's other things to be to be done that we don't just have to wait for the tie because we have a virtual orchestra. So there's a lot going on.
Joanie,
Yes, sir.
this is Doug. Over on the second page, third line at the end, what you're leading me to, that B flat that tied into the last measure there. You
Correct.
said you suggested C, C sharp, D, and E. I was playing around with this and I went the other direction. I have to be at my organ and I'm not sure, but I think I went C, B flat, A, and G, and then went down to D.
Let me check it out. You could do that as well. Very good, Doug.
Okay.
You could go down.
Okay, I just didn't know if you knew when to go down or when to go up, or if there was just,
No,
it was just
I
a
don't.
preference.
There's not a rule of theory in that at all, but that worked. C, B flat, A, G. If you want to go down.
Okay.
I went up.
You went up, and I thought, well, I'll go with you, but I want to know why. It's no big deal. Okay, thanks.
Try it both ways and see which way you like it better, really. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you with Vegas now. Vegas Big Band here. And let's see what we got. Again, Vegas Big Band is a great intro as well. I love playing along with it. And it is only 8 measures long for the intro. And it's a lot faster. So that's much faster paced.
What was the tempo?
I couldn't see 190.
Oof.
I couldn't see your faces, but I could feel your eyes rolling.
That was a little too fast for me.
That's okay. You can slow it down. Any questions so far? You got the echo part?
Yes.
That's really fun. And if any of you are ambitious, when I do that echo, I also play those notes in my feet, upper E and upper D, with my right foot. So there's a little challenge for you. Ooh. It's only 2 notes. Don't be afraid of it. Just remember that the pedals are a third keyboard, or in our case, a fourth, because we have 1, 2, 3. The pedals are a fourth. They're just not black and white. They're brown and white, but essentially they're just another keyboard. And if you want to see them, you can turn on your custom button number 5, and when I hit the E and the D, they light up so you can see if you're playing the right notes or not. Because we don't want to look at our feet, remember? Look in the screen if you have to look. So I did that little tidbit too. Any questions? It's not a difficult song at all. I thought I'd cut you a break after Somewhere Out There, because Somewhere Out There is long, number 1, and it's pretty sophisticated in that the right hand keeps moving and the left hand chords are ambitious. They sound awesome, but I recognize for some people that's a little ambitious. So, Witchcraft is not a hard song at all, and you can give it your own personality, so to speak. The way you know it, Beyond the Sea is a moderate rhythm style. And now we're going to go to Swing of India, which is really cool. I forgot I was going to have to scroll a little to get to Swing. Swing of India. There we go. And I like introduction number one. I don't even know what song this is a signature for. If it is, I guess I don't know the song. So, but I like the introduction. Again, intro one is 20 measures long, but that's okay because it's going to get you fully involved. Do you have Firehouse subs where you are? The place Firehouse subs?
Yes, we
Okay.
There's one
do.
over on
So
301.
excuse me. When you go to Firehouse, they ask you if you want it fully involved. What does fully involved mean?
Everything on it.
Everything on it. That's right. So that's kind of how Swing of India is. You're getting fully involved before you even get started. So here we go. So I can watch my lights, see what the speed's going. I want you to take a look at something that I do here. I always like to use the fill or the effects before my intro goes off. Most people give it a kick, and by the time they hit the ending button, the fill's already done. What you can do is if you hold the last note and just drop your thumb down to the touch bar, the fill will keep going, and until I take my thumb off the touch bar, the ending is not going to end because remember, the fill overrides the ending. Okay. So I have this here. My thumb's on the fill. I've touched the ending, but it's not going yet. So that's a little trick. The endings, as great as they are, and they really are phenomenal on all the Lowrys, really. What makes an ending even a little bit more complete is to go ahead and add the fill first. But like I said, if you just give it a little kick, and people on, let's say the easy line, they just kick the switch and they're right off it. And if they kicked it on beat 3, they only get one beat of a fill. You're not getting the value of a fill. You got to hold on to it until you're ready to end. So that's a really nice way. So just hold it with your right hand, your thumb, touch the ending, and let go when you're ready. And there goes the ending. and that was Beyond the Sea. I mean, not Beyond the Sea. Swing of India. Which one did you like the best?
Swing of India.
You did.
But
Me
I would
too.
slow it down a little bit. Just a tad.
You would do what?
I would slow it down.
Oh,
Just
okay. Comes
just-
on at 172.
okay.
What about Chicago swing?
What about that? Let's check it out. Chicago swing. That works.
Frank,
That works.
count. Frank,
Joanie?
count.
There's probably a bunch more that work too. I don't have an aria, obviously. I scanned over. Well, actually, I called someone to play Swing of India because I wanted, or not Swing of India. I had them play something else that I thought might work, and it didn't work. But there's probably multiple different rhythms you could play it with, and each time you play it, you might want to do it with a different rhythm just to keep the excitement going for yourself. You don't want to hear it the same way every time. Although I'm guilty of that, I have to admit.
Guitar
Joanie?
work
Yes.
too, Joanie.
I tried muck swing, and I liked
Tried
muck
what?
swing. MC muck swing,
Oh, mix swing.
mix swing, and I liked it in the respect that I repeated it, and I did a fake it part when I
Oh,
went back
good.
to page 1,
I love that.
just for the heck of it. And then when I went in up at the top of the second page with a fresh sound that I wanted to end everything with, I turned the alter button on, and it's got a great rhythm to it to end it.
Let's
So
check it out. Let's
So I
check
thought
it out.
McSwing was pretty cool.
Did you do intro too, I assume?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
Here we go. Very good. Very, very good. And yes, the alter style is great. Really kicks it in for the end of the song. You're right. Good job, Doug.
I like Frank and the Count with the alter style, but on the aria, it comes up with the Beyond the Sea alter style, but the sound that comes up, I stole that sound and used it for Frank and the Count. The sound is called Huge AOC, and I couldn't find that anywhere else. I'm not sure where it is, but it gives a really nice sound for that song.
What is the actual sound?
The sound is called Huge AOC.
I
And
understand
on
what it's called, but that's not telling me what the sound is. Is the sound organ
the-
tones?
No, it's it. Let me just play it.
Organ tones. It's organ tones, and it sounds like there's at least one fractional flute in it.
Yeah, there might be a little bell and maybe some strings. But it's a really nice stuff. So I stole that.
It's either
then
a 5 1/3 or a 2 2/3 fractional.
Yeah. I'm not sure. And then it's got a nice sound on the bottom too. So I stole that one and I took it to Frank and account with the altar style. And that kind of worked for me anyway.
Let's just hear a little of the Frank.
For the intro, I just let it play for 4 bars. I didn't use them.
Altar style. Nice. Works fine.
I got some chords for you too, if you want them. Only if you want them.
We're taking it easy today. Any questions? Not difficult. You should have really not much problem at all with it. But set it at the tempo that you can play it at. And try to add those extras like the echo and the extra notes 2 lines before the end of the song, because that really fills it in nicely, as well as the ties. We're playing on the ties now, different notes. So I think you'll like that a lot. Now, here's your challenge for this week. I do Witchcraft as a medley, and I use 3 songs, but I'm only going to tell you one other one because most of you probably don't want to do a 3-song medley, but a 2-song medley is to play Cherokee and then play Witchcraft.
Cherokee.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir. Let me get my little rhythm here.
Is that in this book?
Probably not. Is that the right notes? No. Oh, here, we're in key of F. That's right. I had to figure it all out in the key of F this time. Nice combination. Cherokee and then Witchcraft. Or Witchcraft and then Cherokee, depending on how you like it.
Joanie, when I do a medley, do I play one song fully through and then just a part of the other one, the second one song?
In this particular medley that I did, I played every song fully through.
Okay.
I don't always do that, but I would say most of the time I do.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Because if I want it to be a really true medley, I want to hear both songs.
Right.
So, and like I said, my medley, my big band medley with these 2 songs is actually 3 songs.
Sure it is.
But I thought for you guys it would be, let's just see if you can get 2 songs going on and make the medley for yourself.
What did you do for the 3rd song?
Stomping at the Savoy,
Okay.
which is a little bit harder. But it's fun. It's really fun. And I love that swing at India. It's so charming.
That's a new rhythm. I haven't run into that before.
Yeah.
That is on, well, I'm on a Liberty right now, and it's in the +1 page.
Is it
Hear it again? Hear it. They can sound. They both work very, very well with that. I was just giving you snippets. And it is worth reminding, just mentioning, because we take it for granted, but I did it once myself wrong today. Um, it's so natural for you to play a C chord to activate the intro. Can't do that. It's in the key F. You have to play an F chord for the intro. So just make a little mental note of that, if you will.
Joanie, could a guitar swing work?
Say it again, Octavia. You're very soft.
Guitar swing
Guitar swing what?
for this song, The Witchcraft. Could you use a guitar swing? I think.
Are you referring to it as a rhythm style?
Yes,
I don't know.
had a guitar swing.
I don't even know what that is. Hold on. Let's check it out.
We had that witchcraft already in class, and they used that.
Guitar swing. What do you know? Let's find out. It works. It's a slow version. I'm not accustomed to that. But it works with the song fine if you like that.
You speed it up a little.
Yeah, you could. It comes on at 92.
Are you playing any substitute chords when you're playing this?
The diminished that I gave.
Okay. I had the version I have here. All the Fs are F major sevenths. And that F,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did do that.
yeah, and the F minor, they're doing that as an A flat diminished seventh.
Okay. Sounds good. Any
And
other
listen,
questions?
Joanie,
Yes.
yes, before today's lesson ends, I want to thank you for last week's Liberty presentation. That was
Oh.
terrific. Really, it was fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. That was a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun. Yeah, I had really nice feedback about that. So I was quite pleased.
Yeah, it was great.
Great instrument, I'll tell you. And there's only 2 in the world left. Unfortunately. I mean, fortunately one is here right now, but when it gets sold, then it'll be gone. But yeah, there's only 2 left, so it's fabulous. It's a genuine love of mine. It's a fabulous instrument, so it was very easy to express that because I'm a little bit partial. All righty. Well, thank you for being on. I'm just going to check out the numbers here before I hang up. All right, we have 17 people. Good. So we're working on witchcraft, and I send the email on Fridays. So please check your email for what the song's going to be for the next time. And I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know right this second, but you'll get an email on Friday, so it gives you time to get the music together and check it out if you want to play it in advance. I actually was not a big proponent of that at all. However, what I have experienced with people now, the feedback I'm getting is that they like to do it a little bit ahead of time because that's the learning stage. So by the time they get the arrangement at the class, they could spend their energy on that instead of learning notes and chords. So that's a very good comment that would make you want to know a little bit ahead of time so you could start learning the song. So I'll keep trying to do that. I'll send an email on Friday. And tomorrow again, I'll be calling all of you who signed up. There is 1 seat available. If someone would like it, please feel free to call me. Okay? Have a wonderful musical day. Make it a great day.
Thank you, Joanie.
Joanie, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanie.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Be well. Call me. It's lonely in this place.
Oh,
Okay,
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
bye.